Previously on Alonso's way. And we're going to rev up to 5 red lights here at the British Grand Prix. Lights are out and away we go. And Lewis Hamilton's got a cracking start from pole position. We've managed to get a decent start, but Rosberg's immediately mugged us on the start. Raikkonen gets very good at us there and actually goes on the outside. As you can see, we've got Vettel behind us. I think it's Bottas on massive behind us. Vettel's got DRS. He's going to go around our inside, go down our inside. We're going to try and hold him off, go around our outside. We're actually going to take this fight to the corner. As you can see, we're going to take this fight right round Lewfield and going into Woodcote. And that was it. That was the end of the recording. You didn't see anything else from there.
At the Hungaroring in Hungary for today's practice session. This 4.3-kilometre track features a number of tight corners, which has been the scene of many memorable races. Let's hope we have another this weekend. Well, we're starting to get to the business end of the season now, as we're just past the halfway stage. We now know which teams have the best performance and which teams are playing catch-up.
At the moment, it's Red Bull's Sebastian Vettel who is leading the Drivers' Championship. It's important for him to have a positive race this weekend and to keep the pressure up on the drivers in the chasing pack.
One of the big talking points in the paddock ahead of today's race is the rumours that McLaren are talking to Valtteri Bottas about a race seat for next season. Can you see that happening? Would the Finn want to leave Williams to go and race with the Woking team?
In F1 you never know, but Valtteri is definitely one of the rising stars in the sport. Of course his manager will be looking for a drive that gives him the best shot at winning his first world title, but with current form, who's to say McLaren can offer him that chance ahead of Williams?
Hey guys, I'm Viper and welcome back to Alonso's Way. This is episode 10, I think this is now, at Hungary. This track's not one of my favourites, I'll be quite honest. It's not one of my favourites, so don't expect any top quality driving from me. As I think Harrison 101 has mentioned, if you're after driving skills, then go and watch Noble or X-Men Tim McMahon, rather than watching some guy who sometimes struggles and isn't always on the limit and isn't always good around all tracks. I'm not OP, I'm not a tier or limitless, and so on. Anyway, now that's out the way quickly. You join us in practice as per usual. Like I said, the weather forecast though does not look great. I don't know if we're expecting rain, but at the moment it's cloudy. That's because we've got on the dry tyres, so I don't think there actually was any chance of rain going through first sector. That corner there, actually, I just thought I'd point out quickly. That corner I'm not too fond of. There's that corner and the one that's coming up now, which is the quick right-left-hander. A lot of people can get this right first try. I'm completely and utterly useless. I cannot get it right. You've probably seen me in a couple of previous videos at Hungary, and I'm really bad at this track. But nonetheless, there's a few things that I just want to briefly mention. Don't worry, I'll be quick with them. But like I said, I don't think there's going to be much rain in terms of practice today, so hopefully it's a dry session and everything. Actually, obviously, as per usual. This time it's going to be, as you can tell from the time length, it's a full episode. Yay! Unlike last episode, I'm unfortunate that it did what it did, where the footage went corrupted half of it and I could do it. But anyway, coming across the line, we do a 1:27.532, which is alright, I suppose, but at the end of lap 2, we actually gain a bit of time. We're actually getting followed by Vettel, and we come across the line to do a 1:26.947, which isn't too bad. It's actually Raikkonen is behind us, but not bad for practice. But obviously it's qualifying where it counts, and I will now hand you over to the commentators.
We hope you're looking forward to today's qualifying in Hungary as much as we are. We think it's going to be a cracker. I've got a feeling that Lewis Hamilton might dominate this weekend, especially considering his incredible track record round here.
He really loves this track, doesn't he? He's a 4-time winner here, so if he can get on the front row of the grid, I think he has a wonderful chance to make it 5.
Right, so qualifying time for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and straight away the DRS is open, and it's a nice sunny afternoon for the qualifying, which is great stuff. Massa's already in first, but of course that will probably most likely change to the Mercedes. As you can see, we're actually in the bottom 10, so not the top 10, the bottom 10, so between 11th and 20th, but hopefully that'll change as the lap goes on. It should do, because we are quite good in practice, qualifying. We are quite good in qualifying. Like I said, however, the setup I think I was running around this track, I don't think I should have run it. I think I should have run a default setup, or you know, adjusted the setup to the car, because the car's setup was for the Mercedes, which I used in time trial, and unfortunately, obviously there's a big difference between using one for Mercedes and using one for McLaren. Obviously the turning's different, and the towing and stuff is different as well. So we're not going to have the best of setups for this track, but getting up to P5 and P4, we actually go purple in the middle sector. I think we did that in Great Britain actually, we went purple in the middle sector. But it's this last two corners that really threw me off, and coming around the last corner, you see we're P3, but we dropped down to P5 again. Going around the last corner, can we get P4 or P3 back? And it doesn't look like it. Of course, it looks like Hamilton's going to take pole position, and we come across the line for what is P5, so not a bad qualifying performance considering the setup's kind of crap around this track and everything. Alonso, of course, seems happy, and his team boss saying, "Yep, you've done well, Alonso," as per usual. But I'll hand you over to the commentators.
It's been a mighty qualifying performance from Mercedes today, with both cars on the front row for the race tomorrow.
They'll be very pleased with that result, and will be confident going into the race that one of their drivers will be able to go on and claim the win.
So that's it for today's practice qualifying session, and as you can see, two Mercedes looking out the front row and two Ferraris looking out the second row. Then it's Bottas 6, and then between him, I believe it's, yeah, Ricciardo's managed to squeeze himself between the two Williams. Grosjean's 9th, Toro Rosso of Verstappen is 10th, Sauber 11th, so not too bad. Button's 12th, Hulkenberg 13th, Toro Rosso 14th, Kvyat 15th, Maldonado 16th, Perez 17th, Marcus 18th, and of course the two Manas at the back of the grid. So it looks like it's going to be an interesting race, and a very interesting grid by the looks of things as well. So hopefully we can do well from starting 5th, and I'll obviously now hand you back over to the commentators for the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Welcome to the twisting corners of the Hungaroring, a popular track which has crowned 2 world champions in its history. It's time for the Hungarian Grand Prix. On pole today is Lewis Hamilton. The Mercedes was dominant during qualifying, and with the power unit advantage, well, you just can't see anybody challenging for that race win today.
He'll want to end this weekend on a high after yesterday's fantastic performance, but he's going to have a lot of competition. I doubt he'll be expecting an easy race, especially considering the teams around him.
Fernando Alonso has been consistently out-qualifying his teammate this season, once again underlining his talent as what many think is the most complete driver on the grid.
Fernando is such a great driver. He always seems to outperform the car, and this season he's comfortably outperforming his teammate in qualifying too. His one-lap pace has been excellent.
Right, so race day, and immediately we're going to load our setup for the Hungarian Grand Prix. I'm going to dive straight into the race strategy menu, and basically they said with the options and the primes, obviously there's a slight bit of time to be gained, but I looked at the race time, it doesn't look as though there's any time to be gained anywhere, so I thought I'd stick with the usual setup, and obviously we're going to join them down on the track. So we're going to be revving up to 5 red lights here at the Hungaroring, and it's lights out, and away we go, and we got a pretty decent start. Vettel and Raikkonen are slow off the line, but of course that Ferrari power is going to get the better of us, and also the Williams of Bottas going to the first corner. And as we go around into the first corner now, I don't know what happens, but we have a bit of a slide, and you see we've got Grosjean there. There's a massive pile up at the first corner, so we've actually managed to drop down to 6, which is not great if I'm honest. So we really want to be trying to push to try and get a podium or, you know, a top 5 position really. But I think Grosjean over overtake us are in the first corner is not great for our chances of trying to get any decent, trying to get some decent points this race. But see, we're sticking with Grosjean, and Massa's actually quite a distance behind, so there must have been some sort of collision. But we try and go down the inside of Grosjean. He does leave the door open, so we're going to go side by side with him into this next set of corners. But of course, we're going to actually get past him here, which is a bit of a surprise for ourselves, because obviously that McLaren-Honda has not got not got the strongest engine. It's not got the brightest, it's not got the strongest engine. It's not got the best chassis, and obviously we're not running the best setup for the track. So we're kind of going to be like a sitting duck in a way to faster cars with better downforce. But actually going around the second to last corner, Grosjean's not letting off, and there's already a gap forming between ourselves and the front runners. And coming around the last corner, as you can see, Grosjean is right behind us. He's literally brought up our gearbox. This is without the RS. He just soars past, and there's nothing we can do. We're going into the first corner. We try and think of maybe trying to go down his inside or something, but obviously the power of his Mercedes engine is just fantastic, and he pulls away. Going on to the end of lap 2 though, as you can see, we've got Massa behind us, but we're out to the back of Grosjean. But as I said before, again, and this happened several times throughout the race, where the car from behind us would just go, just watch this, ready? Straight past. I don't know what it was with the setup that was causing this, but I guarantee it. Don't pin it on me on this one, but we actually managed to get past Massa, but then he gets past us again. After the RS, so it's not great for us. But we do try and make a move around the outside of him and try and dive to the inside. But of course, that Mercedes power, the Mercedes power of the car is obviously giving them a huge advantage. And coming on to the end of lap 3, and you guessed it if you didn't already guess it, Ricciardo is going to come through, and we've got DRS on Massa. Even with DRS, Ricciardo still glides past us just like that. And up until I think it was around lap 6 or 7, even with DRS, as you can see here, we try to chase him down, but he's just pulling away, and that's with a Renault engine and a Mercedes engine. Moving on to lap 8 though, and Grosjean actually was going quite slow, and as you see, Ricciardo and Massa actually I think they've been held up by Grosjean, so we're actually able to, we're a lot closer than we were before. See, Grosjean going really slow. We're going to go round his outside. We're going to take 7th place from Grosjean in his Lotus. But this is actually the lap we pitted in. As you see, he's actually going to try around the outside, and as we go around to this left on there, you see he completely backs off, which is great news for us. But like I said, moving on to the end of that lap was actually our pit box lap. So we're coming into the pits now, and I noticed the AI were going very slow around here. Now I could have put my foot down quite easily going around that corner to go into the pits, but if I'd come in too quick, I might have hit Ricciardo and took the front wing off, so I decided to chance it and just go at what they were doing. But there was a weird moment there, as you saw. We actually got a pretty decent stop. We actually got glitched through the car, so there's another glitch for co-masters to look at. Let's see, are we going to drop any more places? We're currently sat in 9th after that pit stop, and I'm not sure if there's any more cars from behind us. I think the transmission glitch has actually been fixed now, because we don't seem to be having problems coming out of the pits, so glad that issue's been fixed. But as you see, Ricciardo's obviously got cold, all the AI, including ourselves, have got cold tyres, and I found this a bit weird, but the DRS was immediately active on that straight, despite not being within a second of a car, and Ricciardo going super slow. And I think it's coming into this corner here. I think he really backs off on the brakes, and we actually go down his inside, and we're going to hold it around the outside here. We actually will take 8th place away from Ricciardo, so not bad. But see, moving on later on to that lap, we've got we're going to the first corner. We've got Ricciardo on our inside, and Massa's up in front. And with the RS, you can see in a minute, Ricciardo, even with a lacking Renault engine, he can still easily pull in front of us. And unfortunately, there was a bit of sad news during this race, and I'll mention that when it comes around. But we actually get past Ricciardo again. I'm not sure what lap it happens, but as you can see, Massa, I'll tell you when it comes up, when it happens. But see, Massa and Ricciardo in front of us. And it seems as though Massa's going really slow. You can see we're near enough pushing him along the track, and Ricciardo decides to dive into the pits. I don't know whether we gave him a puncture or we collided, but we did actually collide earlier on that lap, which I didn't show unfortunately, but we did actually collide earlier on that lap. I used to flashbacks before we collided, so whether that had anything to it, I don't know. Moving on to the end of lap 14 though, as you can see, Massa's really going slow around these corners. It must be that his tyres aren't doing too well. Either that or our car's doing really well on these prime tyres compared to the Williams. And coming into the last corner, we're going to dare to dive up the inside, and we do actually get 5th place from Felipe Massa. But of course, even with DRS, just watch this, he's going to go for the move on the outside, I think now. Yeah, there he goes. He's going to go down our inside. Now obviously we're going to hold it round the outside as he goes around the inside, and with DRS we're able to, which is weird, I actually looked behind me and realised that the car was, tail fishing, if you like to call it that, and that was it for that lap 15. But actually, me on to the last lap, you see that Button actually we had a retirement, and it was Button unfortunately. Come around the last corner, we're going to take 5th place at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and Alonso will be sure to be happy with that. Although, with it being Alonso, I don't think he's satisfied. Only a win will do for Alonso. Yeah, he looks as though he's very disappointed. And I hand you over to the commentators.
So a great drive today from Nico Rosberg, and I'm sure the Mercedes garage will be celebrating that win long into the night.
It really was a wonderful performance, and one that the team will be celebrating for some time to come.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
And as you can see, after the race, that was the results. That's the final results of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Rosberg wins from Hamilton by 6.5 seconds. Next are 2 Ferraris, 3rd and 4th, with Raikkonen getting a surprise podium. Ourselves in 5th, so we didn't move or anything, we stayed where we started. Massa came up into 6th, Grosjean 7th, so I reckon a good day for Lotus. Verstappen moved up to 8th. Ricciardo, despite having 2 stops, finished 9th. Hulkenberg finished 10th. Nasser 11th. 12th Sainz. Maldonado got a penalty, 13th. We finished 13th. Kvyat 14th. Ericsson 15th. Perez 16th. Bottas actually finished 17th with the 2 Manas behind him. As you can see there, Jenson Button retired. I'm not sure what of though. I think it was engine or gearbox problems. I'm not sure. Yeah, the penalty for Maldonado, I had no idea that he got one until after I'd done the race. I thought, that's a bit odd. I think I actually go into the race director in a minute, and actually just going back to the top, go into the race director and go to incidents, and there's 5 incidents, and they're all on lap 1. Nasser got a warning for colliding with Maldonado. Maldonado had a severe collision with Nasser and got a 5-second penalty for it. Massa collided with Bottas, Bottas collided with Button, and Ericsson collided with Bottas, so I think that explains how Bottas finished 17th in the race. It was a bit of a disappointment for Williams, there's no doubt about that. But it was just all on lap 1, I thought, how's he got a 5-second penalty? But there you go, severe collision with Nasser, so Nasser I think finished 11th in that race, which he did, as you can just see there. But as for the driver's standings, nobody really moves. Massa moves ahead of Ricciardo, and Hulkenberg moves ahead of Button, thanks to Button retiring and not scoring any points. However, the gap to Vettel has opened up to 2 points, by 2 points for us, so it's now 24 points to him. Rosberg's closed within 3 points, so pretty much within striking distance of Vettel. Raikkonen's still 4th, 127 points. 7 points behind him is Hamilton. Bottas is 6th, Massa's 7th, so 2 Williams are 6th and 7th. Ricciardo 8th, Grosjean 9th, Verstappen 10th, Hulkenberg obviously moving up to 11th, Button 12th, Nasser 13th, Kvyat 14th, Sainz moved ahead of Perez despite not scoring any points, Maldonado 17th still, Ericsson 18th, and obviously the 2 Manas, Stevens and Merhi finished drop dead last. So as for the constructors wise, I don't think anybody moves because, well, in terms of how many points the teams have scored, I think Ferrari are going to extend their gap up, up front as we move to the constructor standings now. And in terms of constructors, Ferrari's near enough at 300 points, which Mercedes probably would not be far off reaching. Next race, they're bound to both have 300, that's for sure. Ourselves in 3rd are 131 points behind, I believe. Then it's Williams, who are 25 points behind us. Then we've got Red Bull in 5th, which is a big gap back to them. Then it's Lotus 6th with a 6-point gap back to Toro Rosso. Force India currently sits in 8th, 17 points behind Toro Rosso. Sauber's 9th with 9 points, I believe, and Manna's still dropped at last with no points. So I don't think, like I said, Manna's probably not going to score any points. But as for the episode, that's been episode 10. As you can see at the start here, I think this is explaining how Bottas did and how he got there. Actually, with Grosjean getting past us because we didn't expect him to be there. Yeah, episode 10, it's been a bit of a reasonably better one than the last episode in my opinion. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you for Belgium, where we'll see episode 11 of Alonso's Way. Ta-ra!